You know the feeling. You pull up to the local pump, slot the nozzle into your tank, and watch the digital meter blur past 100 rupees, finally settling at a painful 116 rupees a liter. But if you check the financial news on your phone right there at the station, you'll see a completely different story. Global crude oil prices are stable and, historically speaking, relatively cheap. There is a glaring gap here. If the raw material being pulled out of the ground is inexpensive, why does it cost a small fortune to get it into your engine? To find out who is actually taking your money, we have to tear up this transaction and rebuild it. We're going to deconstruct a single 116 rupee petrol receipt, line by line. By the time we're done, you'll see that the final number flashing on that pump is an illusion, a cover for a complex chain of hidden beneficiaries and steep markups. To build our receipt from the ground up, we start at the global commodities market. Out there, nobody buys crude oil by the liter. They buy it by the barrel. A single standard barrel holds exactly 159 liters of raw crude oil. Purchasing a barrel costs about $69. Converting that to rupees at a rate of 94.45, the entire barrel costs 6,517 rupees. Divided by 159 liters, we get 41 rupees per liter, the actual base cost of the raw material, which leaves us with a 75 rupee discrepancy between the raw crude and the final product you buy. So where exactly is that massive remainder going? You can't just pour crude oil straight from a barrel into your car. It's thick, impure, and useless to a modern engine. It has to go through heavy industrial processing first. Oil refineries boil and treat the crude to extract usable petrol and diesel, which adds our first set of costs. Then there is the logistical hurdle of moving it. This requires massive oceanic oil tankers to haul millions of gallons of crude from international rigs to domestic shores. Once it hits land, the fuel is pumped through an extensive cross-country network of pipelines and freight trucks to reach local storage depots. On top of that physical infrastructure, you have corporate math. Oil marketing companies add their profit margins to the mix, and the local petrol pump owner takes a direct commission of about 3 to 4 rupees per liter to keep their lights on. Yet, even after paying for heavy chemical refining, global shipping fleets, thousands of miles of pipeline, and corporate profits, the total still isn't anywhere close to 116 rupees. The largest remaining portion of that 116 rupee total is a massive tax bill collected by the government. If we look at this breakdown of the added costs, the first major addition is the central excise duty. This is a fixed mandatory tax imposed directly by the central government on every single liter produced. Then, local state governments stack their own levy right on top of it, known as value-added tax, or VAT. Because every state sets its own VAT rate, the final cost fluctuates across borders. It is the specific reason a liter of petrol might cost 95 rupees in one state, but max out at 116 in another. Collapsing these tax and fee blocks back into the original receipt accounts for 50 to 60% of the entire retail price. Filling a tank effectively acts as a direct payment of tolls to state and central treasuries. At current rates, the price of fuel is dictated far more by tax policy than the cost of pulling oil from the ground.